Ooh, good evening and welcome to another video. Okay, today's video, well, I was forced to make this video actually. People are ringing up and saying, why have you not done a video on the biggest story of the year for Uber? And it is the biggest story by far. Uber getting his London license back, obviously. Now, I don't want to talk too much about the actual trial on this video, but if you need to know a lot more about it, just Google it, and there's enough articles about it. It's been all over the news. Every paper, every journalist, they're all writing about it, and we know why, because they got nothing else to do. And it's free advertising for Uber at the same time. You know, what more do you want? You know, if anyone's deleted the Uber app in London, well, it's time to put it back on again. So briefly, let's get this started. Right, firstly, Uber had to prove if they were fit and proper, and they have. They've proven it, and also at the same time they've agreed on some sort of an audit that's going to be done on Uber. So they agreed to that as well. Now, this is a surprising part. Normally, as an operator, you'd on renewal go for a 5-year badge, a license. Uber has gone for a 15 months renewal license, and obviously they've been granted as well. So, you know, you think, why have they done a 15 years? But, you know, it's worked, and you can't argue with that. What else have they agreed with? They've agreed to pay the TfL's court case legal costs, which probably amounted to around the 450k, which is pocket money for Uber. I mean, that's not a problem whatsoever. Right, so how did this court case go, and what started it? Firstly, this is brilliant. Uber went in saying, you know something, we believe everything that TfL said to us previously, and how they stripped us off the license. We agree with it, totally agree with what they've done is the right thing. Obviously, we all know, you know, the line that's all false. Obviously, they didn't agree with. Why would you want to fight it if you agreed with it so much? But you know, it's worked, and this is it. Everything they went for is actually worked. And they, you know, went on gibbering on about how they started, how they embarked on this new cultural journey, and how past mistakes were made. Something you probably heard Dara Shahi mentioning a lot of times. So it's the same record being played again in court. Let me just stop that first. Cancel. Let me just turn it off, guys. Sorry. Right, so what was I saying? They embarked on this cultural journey. They've also admitted to how previous management structure was wrong, and how they've also rebuilt the whole structure again. As I said, look, if you want a lot more information, it's all out there. So, you know, let's not talk about too much about the actual court case. What I want to talk to you about is, what does it mean for the actual Uber drivers themselves? You know, and this is quite important, I reckon, and how I think things are being played out right now. Firstly, and obviously the most simple one is, you know, how relieved are these Uber drivers in London must be. That is a phenomenal break off their shoulder. You know, that is big, massive headache gone. You know, and you really, on my previous videos, you really felt it for them as well. And secondly as well, you know, I don't think people realize how important this court case was for every Uber drivers around the country. You know, here in Birmingham, Uber went for a renewal, and the council did exactly the same thing. What London TfL did was to actually provide extension on the license. So, you know, same thing here in Birmingham. You know, Uber hasn't got a license. They're working on an extension. Tell every council what they did was waited for this trial to be heard, and then they were going to carry on or proceed with however way they wanted to proceed with it. So, you know, as I said, it's not just for London drivers. It would have affected every Uber driver. Right. So, what does he really mean to us Uber drivers? And this is the most frightening part I have to disclose. What Uber done yesterday was actually they went and they sold your soul to the devil. And this is it. This is frightening what actually happened. Now I'm going to keep saying this. Look at the nitty gritty part of it. Go on Google, get the whole trial script or whatever. You know what I mean? This, and you'll know what I'm on about. They've agreed to everything TfL has recommended. And obviously, you know, I'm not here to defend, you know, more serious crimes that are reported. You know, obviously they should be dealt with, you know. But if you, as an Uber driver, know, and this is what I'm saying, if you're not an Uber driver, listen to the video, you probably wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. Working for Uber is not easy. It is very, very hard, actually. And what TfL, what Uber has agreed in court with TfL about reporting every single thing to them, it is quite bad, very bad for drivers. Uber now are in a stage where if they receive any sort of complaint, allegations against you from a passenger rider, you know something, you are actually taken off straight away. And this has been happening for the last few months. If you talk to a lot of Uber drivers, they'll tell you, you know, every Uber driver now probably knows a few other drivers that's been booted out of the platform. And the reason could be from cancellation rate to, you know, they're really, really petty offences. And, you know, I mean, and how do they deal with it? This is another thing with Uber drivers. You know, you simply receive an email saying this is the reason you're off the platform, and you're out. And the worst part about it is, as well, is there's no way for you to actually defend yourself. You can't even communicate with them. You know, you receive an email, they'll say to you, if you wanted to, you know what we've done it, wait 4 or 5 days for us to call you. You know, and for, you know, it's like they torture you in a way. You know, you're waiting 4 or 5 days. You know, you don't even know. They don't even give you a timetable, a time when they're going to ring you. You know, it is really, really bad. And with yesterday's agreement, agreeing with how Uber wants to report everything to their councils, their local authorities, local government, makes it way, way hard for us drivers who drive for Uber. And as I said, there's no way of you defending yourself whatsoever. Doesn't matter if you got a rating like 4.94 I've got now. It doesn't matter. It actually does not matter. This is really bad. You know, Uber telling TfL, you know, obviously they'll be, for your local council, that's what they'll say to them when they go to renewal, that we'll be doing this. And what they don't tell them is, and which they probably council don't want to know anyway, is there's no driver's side of you. You know, we don't want to listen to any driver. You know, if the driver is alleged to have done something, he's out. This is really bad, guys. Anyway, I'll wrap the video up. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Bye now.